Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Bramlett and this is your introduction to our class together, Math and Science for Early Childhood. I'm just going to kind of give you guys a rundown of the syllabus and also what to expect for our course together. I'm really excited to do this class because I'm an old science teacher and I really enjoyed teaching science, and I really enjoy teaching science in younger grades because there's so much creativity and exploration that goes on in classrooms where kids are just let go to kind of make inferences and question things. This whole semester we will look at making some really good units for math, science, engineering, and technology. We're going to add a little technology in there as well. Several of you have already had in class before, so I'm so glad to have you back. Like I said, I think this is going to be great. So let's go ahead and start with some of the most important things to remember for this class. Number one, everyone needs to do the syllabus quiz, which is basically saying that you acknowledge that you've read the syllabus. So let's look at the syllabus together. Here is all my contact information. Of course, I'm located in Beebe in the Owens Center, and I will have my office hours attached to both this page and also to the introduction assignment. Here's my phone number and email address and my division contact information. Okay, so this course, basically, it is an introduction for you to the teaching techniques that will aid in the development of math and science concepts for infants, toddlers, and also preschoolers. You will become familiar with a variety of ways to introduce children from birth to pre-K to math and science. We will also look at how to diversify our curriculum and our lesson plans in order to accommodate children with special needs. Okay, so go ahead and just look through the syllabus on your own, and you'll see that we do have some major projects that will be due, and we'll talk about those in just a minute. Our learning objectives are here, and then a list of our outlines. As you can see, we only have 7 modules, so each module will be about 2 weeks long. And then at the end, we will spend that time working on our final projects. Okay, so if you go to modules, and of course, like I said in the home page, just as I run on candy bars and coffee, this class runs on modules and announcements. So as long as you keep up with the announcements and you go by the modules, you should be just fine. So like I said, I want everyone to start here, which most of you already have. And this is me. And as I said, I'm very happy to lead you through this course. A little bit about me. I am a former middle school teacher, but I have spent time working in elementary schools and daycares. I enjoy being in the classroom very much, and I'm excited to share with you my knowledge and experiences as far as math and science go. My expertise is in special education, gifted and talented, but also using creativity in the classroom. I taught I taught language arts, science, creative writing, social studies, and STEM. So STEM, that's a big buzzword right now. And if you don't know what STEM stands for, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. I have many teachers in my family, including my husband, who is a football coach and now the head baseball coach over at Heber Springs High School. We have 2 beautiful sons named Bo Dylan and Ryan, and we live by the river in Painburn. My interests are movies, reading, writing, antiquing, and traveling. I'm currently writing a book that will be published this summer, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm also working on my doctoral degree in education through ASU Jonesboro. So someday it'll be Dr. Bramlett, but not yet. And I would also like to extend an invitation to all of you to join our Future Educators Club. We meet monthly to talk shop and It's a lot of fun, and we would be happy to set up a Zoom for the Searcy campus for those of you that are in Searcy that would love to be part of our club. All right, one more thing, just a note. I am traveling to El Salvador on February 21st. I will be gone an entire week, but I will still have access to Canvas. So I should be able to give you course updates and answer emails when I have the available Wi-Fi. But I do plan to make several videos while I'm in El Salvador, and I look forward to sharing those with you. I think I'll be able to especially find some really cool things that are science related that I'll be able to share with you. All right, as far as what's due this week, and let me tell you that I plan to do a video every week that kind of just walks you through what I want you to do. Our first module is Module 1, and every module will have objectives, and these objectives will correlate with the course objectives. So take a moment and look at what you are going to be expected to learn this week. Also, you have textual readings this week, pages 2 through 44 in your textbook. And I know that sounds like a lot of reading, but remember you have 2 weeks to do this. And I've kind of split the module up. And so it's more like 20 pages this week and 20 pages next week. Here are some important concepts that I want you to think about while you're reading. We will spend a major part of our time talking about theorists such as Piaget and Vygotsky and several others. So the first assignment you have is related to those theorists. Take a look here. This can be found in the reading and through a simple Google search. This just looks at each one of our major theorists for this chapter, except for Gardner, which we will do in a separate assignment. But I want you to tell me their place of origin and some important dates, like their birth, death date. And then I want you to tell me their major learning theories. What exactly did they stand for? What did they believe in? What did they research? Just kind of tell me about them. And then a few other little facts, maybe 1 or 2 is just fine, but just kind of, I want to know that you really did look at who these theorists were and what their theories were. The next assignment that is due this week is, this one has to do with Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. So what I want you to do is take this quiz, and I want to know what your strengths are. I want to know where your intelligence lies. I'm going to take this quiz as well, and then I will put my reply here, and then you guys can see as an example how I did mine. But also, I want you to define and explain what the theory of multiple intelligence is in your own words. And then finally, I want you to respond to 2 classmates. So define and explain the theory of multiple intelligence, take the quiz, and then tell us what intelligences you possess, and then respond to 2 classmates. All right, so this is what I think this is the fun part. For this activity, you are to create actually 3 lesson plans. This says a lesson plan, but 3. I'm going to go ahead and go in here and change that. Okay, you are to create 3 lesson plans that would classify for each of the following. Oh, that was right. Ah, silly me. Okay, but naturalistic experiences, informal learning experiences, and adult guided learning experiences. You may read lesson plans below for ideas, but if you use specific information from those sites, please cite your source at the bottom of each chart. So in other words, title your lesson and then tell me the subject. Like maybe your lesson title is Counting Apple Slices, and the subject is math. And then the objective is for the student to count the number of apple slices in front of them. What standard is that? In your first chapter, it talks about specific standards that you will use as a preschool teacher. You can just put whatever one fits this, which would be counting. What materials would you need? Apples. Of course, you would need to be able to cut the apples. Don't let the children cut their own apples. What type of learning experience is this? Is it naturalistic? Is it informal learning? Or is it adult guided? And then what teaching methods will you use? For instance, let's say you are first going to read a book about apples or about counting. And then as an activity, they will be counting the apple slices. Or maybe you want to have apples and oranges and you want them to sort, which would be a different standard. Maybe you want them to sort and count. All right, and then finally, how will you know they've reached the objective? How are you going to assess them? One way you can is by going from child to child and say, hi, can you count these apples for me? Let's start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a way to assess. So I just want you to do that for a naturalistic experience, an informal learning experience, and an adult guided learning experience. Now, this one isn't due this one is due on the 26th. So you do have a little time, and if you need assistance, please email me. Okay, finally you have a graded discussion, and for this you are to describe the 4 steps in science problem solving, and then in your own words explain the importance of student curiosity and problem solving, and then finally define the heuristics process and what are the differences in the 3 types. And of course all of this can be found in your reading, and I have put the pages right there for you. Okay, so that is your first unit, and I hope I have broken it down for you in a way that makes it easier. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to email or call me. You guys have a great day.